A Louisiana mother has left most of her family here and moved more than 1,000 miles away, all to help her toddler use marijuana.
You heard it right. Her child is sick, and she says marijuana is the best medical treatment there is for her. Capitol correspondent Kevin Frey has the latest on our state's medical marijuana journey.
You know, I'm basically a criminal if I were to go back home.
For Michelle Hall, a resident of Vernon Parish, it was a move of necessity.
And as a desperate mother, I did what I had to do.
Her adopted daughter Ella was diagnosed with epilepsy at age 1, a disorder that can cause, among other things, seizures. 4 years later, when the disease became detrimental, Michelle says the medications prescribed to Ella here in Louisiana were causing developmental delays.
Screaming bloody murder for not just a little while, for hours.
She clamored for other ideas, one that landed in her lap, medical marijuana. But under Louisiana law, she could not legally possess the drug to treat her daughter. Seizure-inducing diseases are not covered. Desperate, a month ago, she picked up everything and moved to Colorado, a state where marijuana is legal. In doing so, she left her husband and family behind.
That is all she takes.
The effect, she says, was almost immediate.
How you doing?
Good, how are you?
She says Ella has not had a seizure in 3 weeks.
And I'm like, well, maybe we just want it so bad that we're seeing something, you know, in our heads, kind of a thing. I was kind of skeptical. But then as time has gone on, you can just see it's like a new child has developed.
Cancer, HIV/AIDS.
At the Capitol this year, lawmakers are considering several bills expanding access to medical marijuana in Louisiana, including one by Baton Rouge Representative Ted James.
We do have an obligation to rely on science. Other states are doing this. We need to do that, do the most, so that our parents have all of the tools that they need to care for their children.
The bill would increase the number of diseases where medical marijuana can legally be used for treatment, including those causing seizures. As written, it would also allow for the establishment of medical marijuana manufacturers and distributors to sell it in a liquid or edible form. But actually smoking pot would not be permitted.
My bill provides very strict regulations. The law enforcement community will know who's growing, where they're located, and they'll have specific information to help curb the fears about crime.
You know, my husband's in Louisiana, so my children are separated from their father. You know, everything, their birthdays, they had to spend, you know, away from family for the first time ever. So this bill will hopefully allow us to come home sooner than later.
Back in Colorado, Michelle says this bill is about helping those most in need, not about helping junkies.
Did you ever think that you would be a proponent of something like this?
Absolutely not. I have grown children, and they will tell you, my son laughs at me all the time, because growing up, I was adamant about drug use.
Now, a similar bill also expanding access to medical marijuana has already made its way through the Senate. The Louisiana District Attorneys Association did express concerns about that bill, including fearing that it could serve as a gateway to recreational use. We reached out today, but they were not immediately available for a comment.